Beautiful morning to you. Thank you for joining us on another edition of Public Square from Adaba 8.9 FM. And as usual, we will be discussing another issue this morning that definitely will interest Nigerians. As here, all we do is discuss topical issues from the standpoint of the people. My name is Olabisi Olaniyi Oluwasegun, and right in the studio with me this morning is Barrister Omoshua. Thank you for coming, Olufemi Omoshua. Thank you for coming.
Good morning, Nigerians. Thank you for listening to this program. We encourage you to keep listening to it because it's getting better and fresher every day.
Okay, thank you for that endorsement. We're hoping to have Mr. Dayo Awude and Mr. Johnson Alabi join us in the course of the program. But today we will be looking at a very important issue that is largely dependent on the unity of Nigeria, or the existence, so to put, of Nigeria. You would realize that in the past few years, a lot of Nigerians have been agitating for one thing or another. People from different segments of the country have been putting across their yearnings and aspirations to the government at the central. And today we would be examining this issue of having the country being together as one entity, regardless of what we're going through at the moment. Insecurity challenges bedeviling the nation, crunch of cash, so to say, cash crunch also bedeviling the nation as well. And this brings us to the issue of whether or not this calls and agitations for the restructuring on one side and then secession by other groups of the country should be a topic of discussion in the first place. And in the studios this morning, I told you that we have a lawyer, a legal practitioner, who will be putting into perspective some of the issues surrounding this particular argument. All right, I'll go on a short break. When we return, we will dive right into the conversation. Okay, Nigeria has been experiencing democracy for years, for decades now. But still, some people believe that democracy in Nigeria is not the way it's supposed to be. We're not maximizing the democratic values as it should be. And as a lawyer, Barrister Omoshua, do you also believe that what we have in Nigeria today is not democracy?
Yeah, I will not align with anybody that says what we have in Nigeria now is not democracy. We are practicing democracy, but the type of democracy that we're supposed to practice, I think it shouldn't have been the one that we received hook, line, and sinker from America, because even the British, the type of democracy they are practicing today, it's a sort of monarchical system of democracy. Even in Saudi Arabia, whatever, no matter the power of the prime minister, the queen, the king, it is subject. The prime minister's power is still subject to the monarchical power of the queen in England and the one of Saudi Arabia. So it is like that everywhere. And I think Nigeria or Africa shouldn't be a different one. I was expecting that, okay, since we have our ways of, governing ourselves when, about 100, 200 years back, it should have been that, okay, when we receive it, we'll have looked at what is repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience in our tradition. And the one that can fit in, then we filter it in and we bring it into form. But what we are saying today is we just took it. Somebody can just kill, make money, and use money, buy power, and they call you honorable. And it shouldn't be, because those days you discover that before people can be given an opportunity of leadership, you must have looked at the root. Where are they coming from? Who is his father? Who is his mother? If it's a family where they have been notorious, nobody will give them power. Nobody will allow them to lead. So, and we have all these checks in our society that makes people to begin to prepare for better tomorrow. But these days, what we say is you just go and get anything. By the time you have money, then you get to power. Even when you are still there, you can still use money to still perpetuate yourself.
Are you saying now that money politics, as we have it in Nigeria, is undermining our democracy?
It's really, really oppressing it and repressing it.
Okay, before your arrival, thank you for joining us, Mr. Awude. We introduced you earlier. We were discussing the place of democracy in Nigeria. Today, it is believed, of course, we are in a democratic government. But the argument is, despite the fact that it is named democracy, we're not truly practicing the tenets of that system of government. Do you also align with these thoughts?
Yes, I think I do, absolutely. Because a lot of things are missing. We have a lot of lacuna in the system, such that what we have, yes, we may call it self-governing as it is, but then we have not combined all the variables expected in a democracy to make it function as it should function.
Okay, now a lot of people believe that for democracy to function, like you rightly said, then Nigeria should revert to true federalism. The question now is, this argument is two-sided. Some think that we're practicing federalism in its right, while others believe that the federalism that Nigeria practices is not true. So that brings about the issue of practicing true federalism in the country. The lawyer in the House, true federalism. Can you help us put perspectives to this?
I have said it. Whatever we want to build, they must have a foundation. You cannot build something on nothing. It cannot stand. There can't be legality on top of fundamental illegality. If we don't have a base, either federal or true federalism, it can't stand. It's like building a castle on the air while the collapse is imminent. And if we say we want to practice true federalism, where are we coming from? There was a time we had unitary system of government. There was a time we have this federal. Now people are agitating for true federalism. What brought us up to this level? These are the things we need to trace. And if people are agitating today, because we can see the agitation coming from the south, if we're agitating today for true federalism, restructuring, and what have you, since 1999, when we had this republic that has stayed for almost 20 years now, if the Southerners are the one clamoring for true federalism, restructuring, they have spent 14 years. Obasanjo spent 8 years. Goodluck Jonathan spent 6 years. Buhari has spent about 6 years now.
And these agitations were not as prominent then?
No, we had constitutional conference then. Even Goodluck Jonathan still had his own. Why was it not implemented? We have always had this problem, which everybody has been saying we have to fix it. Even the 1999 constitution that we are even quoting today as amended, we are only using patch, cut and paste law. These were laws that were given to us, not as if we agreed that this is the law that we want to use. The military gave it to us. They just said, we people of Nigeria, we shall be governed so way. But immediately when we became, we have gotten a republic, or when we have gotten the democracy on its foot, all we need to do is to say, okay, thank you for giving us this. We want this. It was never done during Obasanjo of 8 years. It was never done during Goodluck Jonathan of 6 years. Why the agitation now? And Yoruba sọ pé tó ń bá fún wèrè lọ́kọ boloma kosi akata eloma kosi. So we need to ask ourselves all these questions.
Okay, a lot of questions raised there. Do you have any opinion?
Well, I have a very contrary opinion to what you just said. Yeah. You see, it's not a function of why now. There will always be a time.
Definitely.
That it was not done during Obasanjo does not make it right. Does not mean it was right for it not to have been done at that time. And it does not also take away from us the fact that we can also say, okay, we have had enough of this. Let us move on the normal trajectory. It's very simple. Federalism is federalism. However, we have added a word there, true federalism. Meaning that what we are running somehow is not how it should be run. When you talk about federalism, basic government knowledge that we did in secondary school you have the central government, you have the state government, you have the local government. All of them put together is called the federal government. Abuja alone is not the federal government. Abuja is the central government. All of them is federal government. Now, each of these three components should have a level of autonomy such that they should be able to function on their own. Independently. But as it is today, it has been structured in such a way that until our governors go to Abuja, they cannot function. The local government is almost scrapped. So we don't have federalism properly so-called. However, coming to what he said, there will always be a time. If Nigerians feel today that we need true federalism, so be it. It doesn't mean that it was not done under so person. It cannot be done now. Maybe the factors militating against true federalism have now risen beyond what we used to have.
Have been magnified.
Beyond what we used to have. Now we have woken up from our slumbers. This is where we are. We need to have true federalism. And there's no better time than now.
You talked about factors that occasioned the agitation in the first place.
Yes.
Barrister Moshua, what factors, personally, on a personal ground now, what factors do you think could have been responsible for the sudden increase in agitation for either restructuring or secession? Because just recently now we have people from the southwestern part of Nigeria calling for, Oduduwa Republic and the like.
There are many factors that are so evident, and they are becoming more apparent than real daily for restructuring, calling for restructuring and terminate true federalism. I don't know if the federalism that is on the table is no longer working, then they have to add true federalism. Just like what Mr. Dayo said, I just want to correct an impression. I never said there shouldn't be restructuring now. But what I'm saying is, when the Southerners were there...
What's the intent?
Eh?
What you were trying to ask what the intention is. Why now?
Not even why now.
Okay.
Why did we not do it then when it was very, very close to us? You understand now? Because most of the agitations comes from the south. The northerners, some of us think they are comfortable, but they have painted it with issue of tribalism or what have you. But to now go to the question that you asked, there are many, many issues that are calling for restructuring today. Everybody knows. And which has even metamorphosed into some enclaves asking for secession. The Oduduwa Hone is not even the first. We have seen Biafra, we have even seen Niger Delta and what have you. But the issue is this. Nigeria will have been good as one if truly what we say we are practicing it. Many people today, they are not, if we are talking about, let's even take security. Let's start with security. Where is secured in Nigeria today? They are killing even the northerners, even more than the southerners today. But it's as if the government of the day or people who are saddled with such responsibility, they are not holding the bull by the horn. And that's why people are now saying, okay, if you cannot secure us together, let us have autonomy of securing ourselves. Maybe the Yorubas will resort to Ogun, Shango, Shopono, Ayelala, and others. And mind you, a man is the first security officer unto himself. If you have rat in your house, you don't call police. If you have snake in your compound, you don't call police. And those days when we're younger, I remember whenever anybody is looking for his fowl in the villages, somebody will be beating gong. Anybody hear me? Aku, Shongoapa. There are some junctions you will get to. If you are spending 1 minute in some people's house, some junction you will spend 7 minutes. Because you know quite sure that these people, they are the one that normally do this type of thing. You understand now? And if they want to take it to another level, as they been, let's say somebody did not release the file or what have you, If you get to the king, they will ask you that, whom do you suspect? These are the first people. And this is how we can manage security. I think what people are now saying is, let us revert back to the status quo ante. Let us now begin to govern ourselves the way we have always been governing ourselves. Not these days that you go to police, you give police information, police will tell the person that you reported that this is my informant. People can always govern themselves traditionally, and that's why many people are saying, let us have community policing. If we have it, it will be better. So, but government bureaucracy of having to take order from the central, which is Abuja, is what is giving the problem. So we have quite a lot of issues that is calling for maybe people trying to say, let us govern ourselves by ourselves. Not as if it has even gotten to the level where people are now saying, let us split. It has not gotten there. But what people are agitating for is, we can always do things by ourselves. It does not really mean that we are not going to take recourse at the central. But what we can do, let us start from home. I think that is...
Okay, he cited, Barrister Moshoa cited security as one of the reasons these agitations are beginning to pour in than ever. Do you think that it's enough? Is it justifiable for some group of people to put themselves together and start, clamoring for splits?
Well, Nigeria is a country. And there is no law under the sun that says we cannot at any time decide to move away from one another. Now, secession, self-governing, self-determination, whatever name you call it, is a product of certain factors. Nigeria as it is today, I think there's a consensus that Nigeria as it is today is a bundle of injustice. When you talk about restructuring, it's not just about the geography. You have fiscal restructuring, if you like. The idea of states having to go to Abuja to collect money to spend shouldn't be. In the United States today, if you have a land personally and you have petroleum resources on that land, it belongs to you as a person. But in Nigeria, if you have a land, the day anything is discovered on that land, it belongs to the federal government.
Someone even made a joke about 2 days ago that if government finds...
it belongs to the federal government.
And it doesn't make sense. If, what's it called now? Mineral resources at your backyard, it's for government. But if they find an incriminating object, it is for you.
Exactly. So, and this is not the way to go. Absolutely. Where you have, out of 100, the federal government or central government is taking 54% of our resources. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't allow for development. It doesn't allow for growth. So we have to look at the totality of all of this, not just about security. Yes, security is the first line. You must be secured before you talk about any other thing.
Yes.
Insecurity in Nigeria today is higher than at any time in the history of this country. I can say that and beat my chest and say it again.
Okay.
But as it is, we appear very helpless. I mean, the federal government appears very helpless. We just
Nigeria is an entity. I mean, when the federal government becomes helpless, it definitely takes a toll on the generality of Nigeria. So you were right to say that we are helpless. Well, if you're just joining us, we're still talking about the unity of Nigeria, possibility of having the one Nigeria that we always want to promote. And I've been speaking with Mr. Dayo. He is a former commissioner in Ondo State, and Barrister Omoshua Femi. He is also a regular on the show. You can join us on the show by going to the Facebook. Join our Facebook Live, Adaba 88.9 FM, www.adaba889.fm. You join us live and be a part of the conversation if you wish. All right, we have three things staring us in the face. We have true federalism, we have secession, calls for secession, and we have restructuring. Which way do you think Nigeria should go, Barrister Moshoa?
First and foremost, I want to believe in the mathematical system of starting with LCM before you go to HCF or algebra and others.
Let's come on multiple.
Yeah, you guys are. I want to believe if Nigeria is one, I don't think there is anything bad about it. But there are some democrats, there are some ingredients that makes a country to function and makes it beautiful and makes it to be attractive, where there is no nepotism, where there is no tribal sentiment, where people have security, where you can submit your proposal from your ingenuity. You know, when you think novelly, you just discover that, oh, this thing, we need to do it. You bring it down and you submit it, and you believe that you are the one that will be called, not that somebody will get the job and simply because he knows the DG or the governor. These are ingredients that I think can make a country to function and be called a true nation. But I think Nigeria map has broken into fragments. And I pray it doesn't give way.
Broken into fragments. How so?
Why I say so is all these things that I mentioned, I can't find them there any longer. We are not one. If I was discussing with someone last week, the person said, if he becomes governor of Ondo State, everything that, in fact, 90% of what he will do it in his place. And I'll say, how come? When did we get here? Say, that is it. That is what he will do. And when you begin to look at what is happening in our nation today, you discover that what Awolowo did not say the headquarters of Yoruba should be in, where is that? Ikene. Awolowo trained all his children in Ibadan, not even in Lagos. They believe Ibadan is the traditional home of Yorubas. And you see Baba Ajasin and some other people, they spread the whole thing. And you look at Nigeria today, even from the top, the way things are done. You look at the service ships, you look at the Chief Justice of the Federation, you look at this, you look at that, you look...
This also boils down to nepotism.
Nepotism. Yes, so it doesn't make... And people are beginning to be very agitated. And you see, Yorubas will say, when you carry a load, oh, this is the bus stop where you are going to remove the load, it's better. Now, then somebody say, be carrying it, you don't know where you are going to drop it.
Okay, now talking about nepotism, this question is directed to you, Mr. Woody. A lot of Nigerians believe that the country's pluralism is more of a woe than a blessing. Do you align with these thoughts?
Absolutely. Because the leadership of this country, even now and before now, have skewed everything in favor of the North. We must face the reality.
It's true.
The military leaders...
Even when the Southerner was there?
I think so.
The Southerners have been coming to balance it. Because that's what they have been doing.
You see, mechanisms have been put in place such that it becomes extremely difficult for you to adjust it. Now, let me give us some examples.
It has unconsciously become the template.
It has become the template, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. If you say you want to create, for instance, the population of Ondo State is more than that of Osun. I'm using the Southwest. Osun has 30 or 31 local governments. Ondo has 18 local governments. When they want to disburse in Abuja, they give 31 to Osun, they give 18 to Ondo. You see, there's no balance in that. Now, when you move up north, it's even worse. Kano used to be 16 local governments. Lagos was 20. Kano was divided into two, Jigawa and Kano. Kano has 44 today. Yeah. Jigawa has about 30. You cannot function. You see, when there is no justice, you can never have peace. Nigeria, as it is today, is a body of injustice, and we just have to find a way to balance it. If you want to create a local government today, if Lagos says, okay, because we have a population of 20 million people, we want to create more local governments to meet up with Kano, it's not possible. The law does not say it is not possible, but the variables will tell you clearly that this is not possible.
In Senate climes, when there is this sort of stalemate, the National Assembly, the Senate, the reps usually step in, and then we hear things like referendum and all the sort. Do you think that in Nigeria, calling for a referendum would help sort out some of the misgivings we have already?
The people that will even call for the referendum in the first place, they will not allow.
They are the beneficiaries as it is.
Even if they are not even the beneficiaries.
Yes.
Like in the north now. When you look at the, is it 109 senators that we have?
Yes.
About 60 something they are from the north. And by the time you look at it, when you throw a cutlass up 10 times, it will land on the flat side. There is no, that's why it's not as if we have not had opportunity of removing some people from power and what have you. But it is as funny as the democratic saying that majority will have their way, minority will only have their say. You can only talk, but what will happen? And by the time that referendum will come, when you look at the procedure of even creating local government in Nigeria now,
it's almost impossible.
It is almost impossible. So when you are now calling for, okay, look at, we're discussing, there was a time they were discussing about the president should come, because we have to be realistic here. The issue we are talking about in Nigeria now is not the issue of political parties or what have you. We are talking about making Nigeria better for us, better for our children, better for another generation. If we cannot say the truth now, we have problem. They're talking about the president. The president was summoned to National Assembly. As easy as that, as simple as that. I will be happy if my community summons me as a king to come and talk to them. Do you know it was frustrated? And tell me, what are the senators and the House of Reps doing? This person that even moved that motion, do you know that that person was almost on suspension? It was they almost suspended it for saying the president. Why? If you are the head, you should be able to give account of what is happening. Up to today, the president has not appeared before the Senate. So what are we talking about?
Okay, we'll allow people at home to also join in the conversation. This is something that concerns everybody at the end of the day. So we'd like you to tell us what you feel about the state of things in Nigeria. What you think the way forward should be. 0890 0816 251-9991, 0816-251-9991. You can as well call us on 0908-177-8793. And you can as well join us in the conversation by dropping your comments on Facebook, and we'll try as much as possible to read them live. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
This is Adaba Olusola speaking.
Olusola, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so go ahead.
Good morning, the barristers. Good morning to you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so my contribution is that truths have lost for a very long time ago in this country. I can say this, even in this Adaba, there is some things that if you want to say the truth, self, they will cut you off. That please. That is not allowed.
That's because we're being regulated by a corporate body, and we can't afford to.
Yes, because the radio station was made to make money, not to say the truth. So that is.
Okay, sorry. You'd have to call us again to complete your line of thought.
And in addition to what I was saying, not as if the president wouldn't have been able to even appear in the first place. But these people, they are just overzealous
Sycophants everywhere.
Not as if it would have been difficult for the president to come and defend.
What was even the crime?
What was the crime?
Appearing before the national.
What was the crime?
Okay, we have a comment. We have a lot of comments here already on Facebook. Zadok Akintoye, thank you for joining. Democracy as a system of government does not pretend to be anything other than its definition. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We keep making the mistake of thinking that democracy works because it's the people that decide who leads. No. Democracy is hinged on culture, custom, traditions of the people. A corrupt society with little respect for the principle of justice, truth, fairness, honesty, accountability will produce the kind of democracy we have in Nigeria. What we practice in Nigeria is called a Nigerian democracy, which implies that its character is totally Nigerian. I think we is only alluding to what we.
I agree with him.
Yeah. Okay. We have. We go a separate way. We should not have anything in common with backward satanic mindset. That's from Dayo Toby. All right, we've made a lot of things clear on this table, part of which are lack of justice and equity in the country. But a lot of people still believe there's this fear. I personally, for one, do not like war. The sound of war appalls me, and it really, makes me agitated. Do you think that all of this agitation from left, right, and center would not eventually purge the nation into a state of anarchy?
Oh, sun and moon is a universal phenomenon. The way you are scared of it, that's the way I believe Mr. Dayo is afraid of it, and everybody is afraid of it. But one thing that is very, very fundamental is that we must look at what the Ghanaians did recently to Nigerians. They said, go back to your country and fix your country. They said they pay dearly for their own democracy. So nobody knows the dimension with which it will go. Some people, when they talk about revolution or revolution, some people just believe it's about killing or it's about this. Even anarchism on its own, anarchism, when you say you are not going to do it the way it has always been done, it is one of the ingredients. It's one of the functions of revolution.
Of freedom.
And when we are getting towards that, it can call for anything. How can we explain today in Nigeria that somebody in Ondo State cannot freely go to Edo State? Edo State person cannot go to Delta.
It's that bad.
You cannot go from here to Abuja. So what situation can we call that? We are in a war situation.
Exactly.
We are in a war situation.
Okay, with the exactly that I heard from me, seems you are totally in agreement with his
Nigeria
thoughts.
is in a state of war
Already.
So, of course.
So
and he who is on the floor, fears no fall.
Yes.
The country as it is now is already a battleground.
It is. Where you cannot travel a distance of 30 kilometers safely.
But we're not having the kind of war that was experienced during the Civil War. I may not.
War is in dimensions. Nobody is advocating for war. Absolutely. I am not. I'm sure he is not advocating for war. But what we are saying is that we are in a state of war at the moment. Where there is insecurity, what other name will you call that? That's a state of war.
Even where big money that belongs to everybody is being spent by few people.
Now, can we totally, without being political now,
yes.
because a lot of assertions, a lot of theories being postulated in the public regarding this whole issue.
Yes.
They believe that, okay, the APC government is mishandling the affairs of the country, which is why we are beginning to have this. This is more like a reflection of what the APC government at the center represents. And other people think that this is not just the problem of, okay, Buhari in government and APC in government. It's a problem that has been carried on from governments before now.
Olabisi, hold on. You see, let us be fair to ourselves. When you make a systemic problem, you make it a personal problem in order to get at somebody. This is what you get. Now, when Buhari was coming to power, what was he saying? Jonathan is this, Jonathan is that, Jonathan is... He personalized it. Nigeria has fundamental problems. It goes beyond the president. It goes beyond an individual. And we must see it that way and face it that way. As it is today, I'm ashamed myself that we have a retired general and the country is in this state of mess, security-wise. We're not talking about the economy. That's another kettle of fish entirely. We're not talking about the political sphere. That's another. But even security, the basic requirement of life is security. The number one function of any government
Constitutional.
is security. This government has failed much more than previous governments, I dare say.
Okay, is it about the APC government now, or it's about successive governments in Nigeria? Is it a systemic failure?
Mr. Dayo has said it. He has, in fact, he said governments that have been, the one that is on now, if care is not taken, even the one that will still come. If you want to deal with an issue, don't personalize it. And you begin to imagine the miracle that we thought we were going to perform as soon as President Buhari becomes the president. That miracle was not performed. And why is it? It's simply because when you even look at the same, well, let us even, if somebody is shifting blame on APC, who are the APC? Is it not the same PDP who are in APC, or the same PDP that enters APC? I have said something while he was talking. I said, even for the fact that what belongs to everybody is being controlled by few people, it's part of state of war. You understand now? Not even when we will start killing ourselves, people are raping people. Some people in Nigeria now, what they survive through is by causing trouble. How can we explain? We have, even during Good Lord Jonathan's time, we have General Bade and what have you. These guys collected money. They said they wanted to use the money to buy weapons. The monies were found in their account. And we still have these people now that just left. And they said the weapon that they were supposed to buy were not purchased. And who is going to blame anybody? Who is going to blame APC, the acronym APC or PDP for that? Who are the senators? The same senators that were there when it was PDP, they are still there now as APC. So I wouldn't, on my own, thank God some of us are professionals. We are just professional in politics. I'm not a professional politician. And that is why we can always say what, we can always put it on the table as it is.
Part of the problems Nigeria is faced with at the moment could be termed to be largely political, because people have been saying before now, even before we got to this level, that Nigeria should operate a two-party system for it to have a better grip on the affairs of the nation. And a lot of people think that this it would not work at all in a country like Nigeria.
It's not about the party system. It's about the practitioners. It's not about the party. If you like, practice 10-party system. If you like, practice one-party system. Until we come to that point, that we begin to seek the health of the system. Now, Fidel Castro of Cuba said at some point that Cuba must produce what it eats and eat what it produces. In other words, we are not going to go out of Cuba to solve the Cuban problem. Until we sit down to solve these problems will not go on their own. It's not a question of the party system. It's a function of the practitioners, the leadership. Yes, the willpower to do so. For instance, I can't wrap my head around the fact that we have headsmen. When I hear farmer headsmen clash, my heart breaks, because that is not what it is.
Okay, let's hear from listeners at home. Hello, good morning. 0816-251-9991, 0908-177-8793 numbers to call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. What's your name?
Thank you. This is Prince Adegoroye from Akure.
Prince Adegoroye, let's have your thoughts.
Thank you very much. The problem of Nigeria, to me, it is not government, because who is the government? We are the government. If anybody is going to solve Nigerian problem, I don't think it is government. It is because the problem of Nigeria is systemic. It's systemic. For example, this morning I was reading from somewhere. They said they will download jam questions from online and pay 500 naira for each question in each subject. 50 questions makes 25,000 naira. 4 subjects makes 100,000 naira, and people are paying for it. And those people now in education, They are the people that we have outside. They say they are looking for work. They don't see job. And these are the people that will go to National Assembly. These are the people that will be governing us. So the problem of Nigeria is systemic. We have to restructure this country. And our being together, the north, south, and whatsoever, I think it's a blessing. Separation doesn't solve the problem. Even separation will even worsen the situation of this country, because we are having problems within the family, we are having problems within the clan, we are having problems within the local government. So our being together, I think, is a blessing than separation. We have to restructure this country.
Okay, thank you very much. Points made already. He thinks restructuring is the way to go, not
secession.
Definitely
not secession.
That's why I say we have to start from
secession will be the last resort.
Yes.
If one of these variables are not
Good morning.
working,
What's your name?
do that.
I am Comrade Oluwasegun from Owo.
Comrade, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. The issue is not about war. Already, we are in war in this country. Nigeria is sitting on a beleaguered volcano which can erupt at any time, and it is erupting now. We are a country where people that are rich will walk miles to digest food. It is in same that country where people that are impoverished will walk miles, in search of food. Many things are wrong. Let me submit that any law in this Nigeria country which violates the inalienable rights of a man is essentially unjust and tyrannical. It's not a law at all. What type of constitution are we running in this country, Nigeria? Our system of government is militocracy and not democracy, especially in Nigeria. Truth is very sacrosanct. And this is the government government which you cannot criticize. Otherwise, your statement will be tagged as hate speech. There are times you need to be economical with words for fear of being arrested. It is only in this country where people will say whatever they like, especially people that are in government. But let me put it this way. It is not the matter of Buhari. It is not the matter of Jonathan. Don't let us forget that no man can put a chain about the uncle of his fellow man without at last finding the last order and fasting about his own neck. Then let me put it this way, that any rokule lori kò ṣe bá ṣeré mọ́ òkèlè bàǹbà omi ọbẹ̀ ṣòro.
That was on a very light note. Thank you, Comrade Ishijala. Well, he said the Nigeria practices meritocracy, not democracy. I think that got me.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Meritocracy.
true. That's true.
That's the coinage, I guess.
You don't have to be in khaki to be a military
dictator.
Yes.
Okay. We're still on the program, and we want your comments to keep pouring in. Let's quickly take a few from our Facebook page.
Hello?
Okay, good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, this is Olaniyi from Ukare.
Olaniyi, how are you today?
I'm fine. Today,
Go on.
concerning the issue we are discussing, our problems start from 1914, the amalgamation of the southern and the northern. That is where the problem starts. And also the constitution that brought us together is another thing. How can you just bring the pigeon and a fowl into the same cage and expect peace to reign? It's impossible. So until there is true federalism, that's when Nigeria will move forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate you, Oluyemi from Ikare. From our Facebook page now, Olawale Ajayi says the best way the federal government can preach one Nigeria is to allow for equity, justice, and fairness. We already said that. Thank you very much, Olawale, for your contribution. Omogene Dennis Orido says it's clearly obvious in the public domain that things are not working in Nigeria. Things are falling apart, and as such, falling apart fastly. However, the best bet is for every component as an entity of the already failed contraption, to be allowed to go its separate way. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. I think he's
Secession.
Secession.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Thank you very much, Omogene Dennis Orido. We thank you for your comment. It is unfortunate that our democracy is riddled with nepotism and injustice, which has led us to where we are. Olumide Ogundowole sent in that. Thank you. Dayo Oloruntobi says one Nigeria is injustice. A lot of people seems to to be tired of Nigeria as one. How do we start to reorient?
The tiredness is a function of the injustice that we have. The moment Nigerians begin to see justice, the moment they begin to see fairness and equity, everybody will relax. We don't lose anything staying together, but it must be on a fair and equitable platform. Once that is available, the cry for separation will reduce.
Okay. Good morning. Hello?
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
My name is Akinwere.
Your name again?
My name is Akinwere Dominic.
Okay.
From last
Mr. Dominic, thank you for joining.
Yeah. A country that cannot secure the life of people, and a country that cannot provide employment is not a country. Despite the fact that God bless this country with material and human resources, our leaders, they are not ready to cater for the masses. There are a lot of injustice here and there, and they don't allow people to tell the truth. The truth.
Okay. Mr. Dominic, thank you very much, but it's unfortunate that we lost that call. You might have to call us back. Alan from Cameroon says, God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. The only solution is a referendum. We talked about that earlier. Simple. The only solution is referendum. Simple. Thank you. Dare Oluyide. Thank you very much. Many countries around the world live together for years and still go their separate ways at the end. Okay. A lot to be said, but because of our time, quickly, let us talk about this issue of money politics, which largely determines the crop of leaders that we produce in Nigeria. Do you think that there's anything that can be done to... a lot of people think that this is because of the level of poverty in the land, but can there be a shift in a paradigm shift, so to speak, such that Nigerians will begin to see that politics, as it were, is not meant for a set of people? It is something that encompasses the whole entity.
What I see about that is when you look at life itself, survival is the first law of nation. It's because we can survive, that's why we're talking now. Some people don't even know what they're going to eat till evening. And what some people cry for every day is not even clothes, food. And when you hold them at the jugular, then what do you use? Use what you have to preach to them. There are some people determined not to even collect money when they get to the polling station. But when they get there, their prices are beat, even be above what they could reject. When you begin to look at this, you begin to imagine the type of money that is in circulation now, where we have very rich people and very poor people, no middle class again. I want to believe the miracle that will stop money politics now is the miracle of an amputated leg that was buried, and a pastor said he conjure or he performed a miracle and the leg grew again. I still don't know. Because the way it is going in Nigeria, I don't know who is going to bail the cat. Because the way things are now, if we are still going to conduct another election today, these people know some of them will not even campaign. All what they will just say, just don't worry.
Stash money for...
And money is powerful. In fact, the Bible says money is a defense.
We understand that this is a problem.
I don't know.
We've identified that it is a problem in our democratic system.
I want us to look at it this way. I agree with what he said to some extent, but I think it goes beyond that. Money politics does not start on the day of election. No.
I was going to say that.
It doesn't. Now, it starts from the beginning. For you to obtain a form, your party form, for instance, just one sheet of paper or 2 pages, you'll be asked to pay 10 million, 20 million. For what?
25 million.
That's where it begins. And like I've always said, the media is not also helping.
How?
This is it. If I come here to say, okay, I have an advert, you can say it's 2,000 per slot. But the moment it is political, you raise it to 10,000 naira. What offense have I committed? Coming to say, okay, I want to advertise my aspiration. It shouldn't be.
It's
So everybody is making money from the system.
Yes.
So it's not enough to accuse the politicians alone or even the voters alone. All of us are guilty.
Now, I'm not saying this in defense of the media, but for instance, Adaba FM is a money-making venture. It is not a charity.
Yes.
So we have to make money to keep the system running.
Yes, make money. Make the number. Okay, for instance,
if I come here now,
yes,
I drop 10 million naira, and you come here, you drop 50 million naira. You say you want to suppress what I want to say. Won't you have your way?
Well, it depends on them.
Okay, now let's not even digress.
We're not digressing. Why should we have a dichotomy, for instance, between normal advert, in quote, and political advert in terms of pricing? It should be the same. If it is 1 naira for this, it should be 1 naira for this.
I think Nigeria.
But the moment you begin to put a price on it, you're also part of the system. You're also part of commercializing the electoral process.
I totally do not agree with that.
You may not have to agree.
Now let's talk about the electorate who largely determine who becomes what in Nigeria. Well, that's not the case again anyway. But now money is becoming a strong influence in that arrangement. What we're saying is, how can we expunge the place of money so that Nigerians begin to vote their conscience and not money?
We start from the beginning. The day you make collection form 5,000 naira, you begin that process. The day you begin to bring down the emolument that goes to public office holders, you begin to bring that down. Because if I know that what I am going to make in this office will not be more than 1 million, for instance, I will not spend 10 million to contest for that office. But if I know that...
Now, the excuse a lot of Nigerians make or give for, waiting for them at the polling units to get their money is because, politicians now, is because they say that the representation that they were called to do in the first place, they do not do it. A lot of them get there and they glorify their position such that you don't even have access to them. Now, do you think that there could be some sort of reorientation for Nigerians now, particularly about the electorate, to begin to see from the point of view of the country's well-being and not what accrues to whoever's pockets?
Much as I will align with Mr. Dayo to an extent, but there are still some other things that I will not agree with. It's when you begin to look at money, in fact, this money we are talking about, they are in different forms. Some people, so even the party cannot even bring collection of form that they collected 25 million last 4 years. They'll bring it to 1 million. You will see 1 million people that wants to become governor of Ondo State. We have too much money in our society. These monies, 90% of it, they are in the hands of some people who believe that they can use money to buy anything. And this money that we are talking about, people need money now for survival. The very poor people have been impoverished, and they believe that is the only thing they can use to collect whatever.
Are we justifying?
We are not justifying it, but that is the problem that is staring on the face.
It doesn't even make sense. Is that what you are what?
That is the problem that is staring us at the face. And when we say we should start from the beginning, good. Who is going to bear the cat? And we have been saying this. Who is going to bear the cat?
This topic is very broad.
You go to traditional rulers, you spend money. And you go to pastor, you spend money.
I really don't think that we can exhaust issues surrounding this particular topic.
Even when you are there in power, they still come and collect money from you.
Our time is fast spent. And as I said earlier, Mr. Dayo, the Adaba FM is not a charity. We're not a charity organization.
I wasn't particular about Adaba. The media generally. I wasn't particular.
So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of the show. I want to thank my studio your guest, Mr. Dayo, thank you very much for coming.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Barrister Femi Omoshiwa, it's nice to always have you around. Okay, thank you. I don't know, it's my birthday, so I'm just excited.
We have to
overly
sing for
excited.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm so shy. I'm so shy. Until next week, Thursday. Okay.
Happy birthday to you.
Now I'm blushing.
God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us on the show today. Next week, Thursday, we'll be back, God willing. Until then, God bless Nigeria.
Adaba FM, adding value to broadcasting.